Okay, 9p, so we are going to start looking at enlargements today. Okay, so an enlargement changes the size of the object, but it's important to realize that it doesn't necessarily always make the shape bigger, which sounds funny, right? So it can make an object bigger or smaller. If the scale factor is a fraction or a decimal, then the enlargement is actually going to be smaller than the original shape. Okay. Now, there's two different things we need to be able to do here. We need to be able to find the center of enlargement if we've been given the original shape and the enlarged shape, which we would call the image. And we need to be able to describe enlargements. So there's three things because those two go together. But we're not actually going to start with that. I know it's in this order in our notes, but we're going to start actually on page 92 in our notes. So turn over to 92 for me. So this is the other thing that we need to be able to do. We need to be able to actually find the new image after we have enlarged a shape. So remember, whenever we're doing transformations like this, the original shape is always called the object, and the new version of the shape, we would call that the image. Okay, so your instructions on what to do are here. I'll read through them, but you'll see best what to do whenever we do the examples. So if you're asked to find an image, which remember is the new version of the shape after an enlargement has happened, it's all about counting the squares from the center of enlargement to the original shape and then applying the scale factor. So the scale factor is just how much you're multiplying by. So you count horizontally from the center to each corner of the original shape in turn and multiply the distance by the scale factor. Then do the same vertically, count them vertically from the center to the corner, and then apply your scale factor and count the new horizontal and vertical distance. Okay, now there's not actually much room for our working out here, but I think we'll be able to fit it in. So let's look at this example. So we have to draw the image of the rectangle after an enlargement. We're told the center of enlargement is 1, 1, and we're told the scale factor is 2. So here's our original object, and because these corners aren't labelled, I'm going to label them so that we know what we're doing. So A, B, C and D. So if you label your corners there for me, and I'm going to mark on the center of enlargement, which is 1, 1. So that's this point here. So COE for center of enlargement. Now, we're going to use a little table for calculating our new points. I'm going to try and fit it in here. Okay, there should be 4 columns in our table. It's going to be a tight fit. Oh, I can't get that ruler. So ideally I would have a bigger table than this, but we don't actually have that much room. So this first column here is going to be for our original point, and in there we're just going to list A, B, C and D. Okay, just to get this a little bit neater so it's easier to follow, I'm going to roll my lines in. Okay, then if you remember back to the instructions, we have to count from the center of enlargement to the point. So this next column is center of enlargement to point. And then the next column is going to be the center of enlargement to our new point. And then the very last column, we're just going to list what we call the new point. If you can see, that says new point. So if our original point is A, our new point, remember, is going to be A dash. If our original point is B, our new one will be B dash. Original point C, C dash. And original point D, our new one is D dash. So the way we use our table is like this. So we are listing how we get from the center of enlargement to the point. So for point A, from the centre of enlargement to A, we've gone right 2, or 2 to the right. So we'll go 2 right, and 1, 2, 3 up. Okay. Now, if we look back up here, our scale factor is 2. So to go, or to get our centre of enlargement to our new point, we have to multiply everything by 2. So to get to our new point, instead of going 2 to the right, 2 times 2 is 4, so that's going to be 4 to the right. And instead of going 3 up, 3 times 2 is 6, so that's going to be 6 up, and that gives us where A dash is. Okay, so I'm going to mark that on. So from the centre of enlargement to the new point is 4 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be my new point A, which remember is called A dash. And then we do the same for B. So B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, and 3 up. Once we apply our scale factor of that by multiplying by 2, our new point is going to be 10 to the right and 6 up. And that's B dash. So let's do that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's B dash. And then we do the same for the rest. So C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. And 1 up. Apply our scale factor and that becomes 10 to the right. And 2 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. So that's my new point C, which is C dash. And then D, 2 to the right and 1 up. And to our new point then, once we apply our scale factor, that's going to be 4 to the right and 2 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So this is my new point D, and I call that D dash. Oh, my dash in the wrong place. Okay. Then, drawing our lines using rulers. There's been quite a few wee lazy actions in our classwork with people not using rulers. So make sure that we keep everything nice and neat. There we go. Okay, let's look at this next example. So in this one we have to draw the image of the triangle after an enlargement, and we're told the centre of enlargement is 2, 1 and the scale factor is 1/2. So the first thing I'm going to do here is mark on the scale factor, 2, 1, or not the scale factor, sorry, the centre of enlargement. So that's my centre of enlargement. I'm going to call this A, B, and C. So we need to do our table again. Look at the state of this, year 9. I had a nightmare. I was drawing out my table, drew my lines too long, rubbed them out, ripped my page. Disaster. Okay, hopefully yours is a bit neater than mine. Okay, so our first point A, centre of enlargement to the point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Yep, and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Okay, so now we have to apply our scale factor to figure out what goes in here. So our scale factor this time is 1/2. So remember what I said earlier, whenever it's a fraction, it means the shape is actually going to end up getting smaller. So this time, whenever we're applying our scale factor, we're multiplying by 1/2. Okay, so that now is going to be 3 to the right and 2 up. On our new point, our new version of A, we call A dash. So let's draw that in. 1, 2, 3 to the right and 2 up. So that's going to be A dash. Okay, let's look at B. It's just very shadowy here today, I apologise. B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, right. and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up. So whenever we apply our scale factor to that, multiplying by half, that's going to be 4 to the right and 5 up, and that's going to give us B dash. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, and that gives us B dash. Okay, point C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the right and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So once we apply our scale factor of a half, our new point is going to be 5 to the right and 2 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1, 2. So C dash, and then drawing the lines of our shape. So remember, whenever you're doing this, you're always counting from the center of enlargement to the point. You're not counting like from A to A dash or anything like that. It's always counting from the center of enlargement. Another little check that you can do to see if you're likely to be right is to measure the sides of your original shape and your new shape, because the scale factor should have been applied. So if we look back up to this one, our original shape here, we might as well count the squares instead of measuring, it's 3 squares long. So our new one, because our scale factor is 2, our new one should be 6. And it is. This one's 2 and a new one's 4, so that's right. And same here with our original shape. The length of this original shape here is about 5 centimeters. So this corresponding side here should be 2.5 after our scale factor of a half. Lovely. Okay, so hopefully you followed that all right. And whenever you are doing your classwork, make sure you're doing this table every single time. So do the table and draw out the shapes. Okay, bye.